The running back. One of the league's most dynamic and hallowed positions, where names like LaDainian Tomlinson, Emmitt Smith, O.J. Simpson, Walter Payton, and Gale Sayers are etched into the very fabric of NFL history and echo throughout the walls of the Hall of Fame. Such power, such speed, such grace, and now the position is essentially useless. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Before we get started, if y'all could do 4 things for me real quick. If you could subscribe, like, comment, and share the video, that will make a huge impact on this channel performing well. Now, with all that out the way, let's get into the video. If you've been keeping up with the news around the NFL, then you're more than likely aware that running backs around the league are outraged, with teams choosing not to pay them the amount of money that they believe they're worth. Backs like Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry have been vocal about their frustrations with the current running back market. And Chargers running back Austin Ekeler has demanded answers from NFL owners as to why they refuse to sign them to sizable extensions with long-term money. And this topic has not only lit up social media, but it's also been a central point of conversation on numerous sports shows and podcasts. So why is it that running backs are not getting the extensions that they desire? It wasn't all that long ago that Todd Gurley signed his massive 4-year, $60 million deal where he got $45 million in guaranteed money back in 2018. And in the very next year, Ezekiel Elliott inks a 6-year, $90 million deal with $50 million in guaranteed money. So why is it that now the well has essentially run dry on big running back contracts since those two got paid? Well, to answer that, there's a few factors we have to take into consideration. So let's talk about them. Being a running back means that you have to be one of the most versatile, if not the most versatile athlete on the entire field. You must possess the quickness, agility, balance, vision, and breakaway speed to run with the football, the catching ability and route running to either get the ball at the backfield or down the field like a receiver, and the strength to either block defensive linemen or linebackers as a pass protector. By themselves, none of those things are easy to do. But as a running back, the expectation is that you're good at all of them. Now, as you can imagine, all 3 of those things that I just named have one thing in common. You will get hit. And unless you break away untouched and score, or your O-line does a phenomenal job where you don't have to block anybody, you will receive some form of contact. And as great of a running back as you may be, you're just not invincible. Except for maybe Walter Payton. You could convince me Walter Payton was invincible. That guy only missed 5 games in a 13-year career. And 4 of those 5 games he missed all came in his 13th season, his very last year of playing. But when you're looking at the top running backs in the league, guys like Derrick Henry, Nick Chubb, Saquon Barkley, Dalvin Cook, Josh Jacobs, and Christian McCaffrey, they all at some point or another get injured and as a result, miss significant time. In the past 5 seasons, those 6 backs combined play an average of 13 out of 16 games in previous years and 14 out of 17 games in more recent years. And while that may not seem terrible, you do run the risk of getting a season like 2021 where Derrick Henry only played 8 games, or 2020 through 2021 where McCaffrey played a total of 10 games, or 2020 through 2021 for Saquon Barkley where he played a grand total of 15 games. And as an organization, I just wouldn't be anxious to pay a ton of money to a position where it's a complete roll of the dice to where they could play 14 out of 17 games or miss the entire season at a pretty high clip. And that leads us to our second point. Now, what I'm about to say may be a bit unpopular, but oftentimes the hard truths are. The running back position is very replaceable. Having a talented running back is great, and when things are going well, it seems perfect. But when your guy gets injured, which is almost inevitable, there really is no reason to panic, because much of the production you got from them can be netted with a running back by committee approach. Back in 2019, Christian McCaffrey played all 16 games and was third in the league in rushing and second in rushing touchdowns. And as a result of that, the Panthers had a little bit over 1,800 rushing yards and 20 rushing touchdowns as a team. Now, the very next year, McCaffrey got hurt after only 3 games. And did the Panthers' rushing attack fall to pieces? In short answer, no. That very next season, the Panthers had 1,700 rush yards and 19 touchdowns. 100 less yards, 1 less touchdown. Then the very next season, McCaffrey only plays 8 games, and the Panthers still do fine running with the football. But see, this isn't just specific to McCaffrey. In 2021, Derrick Henry only played half the season, and in the games without him, the Titans netted more rushing yards and more rushing touchdowns than they had with him. 2019, Saquon has his great year as a rookie running the football. The very next year, he gets hurt after 2 games, and the Giants proceed to run for more rushing yards and touchdowns than they had within the previous year. And this is a trend that you can see throughout NFL history, but especially in more recent years, where as great as running backs are, you can net, if not exceed, their individual production through multiple players, which leads to our next point. Evolution is all about looking forward. Over the past decade, there's been a change in one particular position that has completely altered the way football is played. And that change is in the rise of mobile quarterbacks. Having a quarterback that both runs and throws the ball at a high level is a complete cheat code for an offense and a terror for defenses. But it's also not the most exciting thing for a running back. Of the 14 teams that made the playoffs this season, 6 of them were in the top 10 in rushing yards. Of those 6, 4 of them, the Giants, the Eagles, the Bills, and the Ravens, had a quarterback that averaged accounting for 30% of the team's total rushing yards, 35% of all first downs from running the ball, and 36% of all rushing touchdowns. And that's only the teams that made the playoffs. When you look at quarterbacks like Justin Fields, Kyler Murray, Marcus Mariota, or even what I expect from rookie Anthony Richardson, they only affirm this trend. And if you have a quarterback that can average handling at least a third of our running and all of our passing, it at least causes me to think, how important is our running back really? Obviously, they're still important, but if there's a very high chance that they'll get hurt, and I can net the production from a bunch of cheaper players, and our quarterback can do at least a third of the running for our team, do I really need to pay them a ton of money? I mean, maybe it's more than just a numbers thing. Maybe it's more than just a stats and data thing. Maybe they impact winning in a big way.
What's up, y'all? I'm getting ready to go on live television, so y'all are going to have to get ready to go on live TV with me. Saquon Barkley, here's the truth of the situation. Until a running back proves that you can be the catalyst for your team winning a Super Bowl, the running back market will continue to depreciate. In the Patrick Mahomes Super Bowl era, since Mahomes started winning Super Bowls, running backs haven't gotten paid. Why? Because you don't need to pay them. The Chiefs drafted a running back in the first round, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He did not pan out, and they still won a Super Bowl. With a 7th round rookie in Isaiah Pacheco, not out of Bama, not out of Ohio State, not out of Michigan, out of Rutgers. The Rams won a Super Bowl with the 20th ranked rushing offense. The Buccaneers won a Super Bowl with the 28th ranked rushing offense. The Chiefs, you're looking at 2 Super Bowls with right around the 23rd ranked rushing offense, respectively. Simply put, you just don't need a running back to win a Super Bowl. It helps to have a running back to get there, but to win, it just don't matter. So until a running back becomes the catalyst for winning a Super Bowl, they better be content with their value depreciating. I'll see y'all on TV.
Oh, well then. I guess that answers that question. The answer is no. Of the top 5 players to lead the league in rushing this year, only 2 of them made the playoffs. Of the top 5 players to lead the league in passing, all 5 of them made the playoffs. So what does all this mean? Do I hate the running back position? Do I think it's useless? Do I think it's a throwaway position? Absolutely not. I personally love this position. I played this position growing up through the time I was a child all the way through high school. I wanted to be this position. I wanted to be a professional. I love this position. I live this position. I adore this position. But understanding this from a business side of things and then just looking at it logically, it's not smart to pay a running back a long-term extension because they probably won't live up to it, because this position ages faster than anybody else on the football field. And once they peak and they hit a sharp dive, they hit the sharpest of dives and decline quickly. Are they valuable? Yes, there are many things besides running the football they do. They pass block, pass protections, catch the ball, keep a defense honest. RPOs are everything that everybody uses in football, but it's just not wise to pay a running back a boatload of money, because more times than not, they will never live up to it throughout the entirety of the contract. But let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. If you agree, if you disagree, if you have thoughts, put them down below. Until next time, I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.